Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Steve Hampson. I'm the Director of Aftermarket Solutions for Cognitus. I'm here today to talk about the Cognitus Aftermarket Solution that's built in S4, that's mobile and cloud enabled. And today's topic is the Induction Workbench, which is a key part of the process that starts from the time that you understand that the part is going to come back for repair to the time that it's ready and staged on the shop floor for work execution. So what we really want to talk about today in the induction workbench and where it fits in our broader overall aftermarket solution set, because our focus from an aftermarket perspective is really around maximizing asset value and looking at the total asset availability and making sure that you're getting the most out of the investment in that asset while make sure it's always available for use, as well as getting the proper maintenance and maintenance cadence necessary to keep that availability at its maximum return for you, the investor. So at the end of the day, it's that focus on keeping that plane in the air or keeping one more weapon systems online or that high value capital asset available for you to use as the customer or the owner operator, and also make sure that your partners in this journey, if you will, your OEMs, your second or third tier suppliers or maintenance providers are also supporting that broader asset visibility to be able to each work together cohesively to maximize that asset value. So if you think about the induction workbench, and this is our broader solution map across the Cognitus aftermarket solution, the execution piece is right here. So the induction workbench is what we're going to talk about today. There are several other key features that we'll also have individual breakout videos on going forward. But the induction workbench, as we think about it, as I mentioned earlier, is really around how do you take that asset from the time that you identify it's coming back for repair, and how do you process it through SAP in a consistent and efficient manner to be able to have that item staged on the shop floor ready for initial inspection and ultimately repair. So when we look at the screens for the induction workbench, we're really thinking about focusing on solution optimization. So as you go through the induction process, these are the key transactions in SAP that need to be touched, going through the return of each individual part serial combination. So how do we help navigate that through SAP, as well as kind of show you a status of where we are in the process? So here's just an initial screenshot that kind of shows you each of the different steps. And we created this this sequence, if you will, for standard SAP. But one of the neat advantages around the Cognitus aftermarket solution is that we have the ability to kind of complete these transactions in multiple sequences. Some of the solution sets that are out there kind of forces you down one path. But we have the ability to say, for example, the service order can be created from the sales order using the RAS order type. It can be created from the notification. And we also have the ability to do both. And there may be some situations where that's important as well. So we have multiple ways to kind of process the SAP transaction sequence to kind of optimize your maintenance flow, especially if you're already an SAP customer that has SAP, the solution, the aftermarket solution already set up in your current R3 environment, and you want to keep that sequence going into S4. We don't have to force you down one certain path with regards to a transaction sequence in the future by adding our add-on, and we have multiple options that you can tailor through. Okay, now as we look at this in the system, the live system itself, the neat part about these transactions is it has you the ability to launch each transaction individually by just clicking on the button, and now all of a sudden you're in the change notification, for example. Or if you're in the if you want to look into the service order that was created and see what's the plan is for there, or pull in additional task lists. It's just like using standard SAP. You can see we've pulled in a couple of task lists here. One was like initial receipt inspection, another one for an actual repair itself. So what the Cognitus aftermarket solution does is it really leverages existing SAP capability. There's a fair amount of things that we've added in, maybe 20 or 25% of the capability is unique for Cognitus, but it's about facilitating this process. For example, if you start this process and you have a part serial combination that you've not yet seen before, when you get to this step, it'll ask you to create the equipment record because you want to make sure you start capturing lifecycle history from the time that it comes in. We're also enabling in the next release pop-up windows so you can either go into the notification and create it from scratch, or you have the ability to put in 6 or 8 key fields that are important that can kind of create really quickly, but you don't necessarily, and you can come back and update it later. So you've got multiple different ways to kind of create some of these objects. Same with the sales order, same with the service order and such. So, and actually, and we're also even looking at doing it for the quote as well. So all these things are, and we already have it in place for the inbound delivery. So all these things are objects that you can kind of either configure to go in and create the whole document once, or go in and create it quickly in pieces, then come back and update it later. We also have preset up the ability to add in shipping containers without even having to go to the sales order. So what this does is a pop-up will show up, or you can go straight into the sales order. You can go down to the line item, and we have the ability to add in another line item for the shipping container. So several options here. Another feature is that we have each box is gray, so you can tell which ones have been executed and which one is not. So here we have the outbound delivery, which would normally not be completed until after you've completed the repair or the repair activity as part of this broader end-to-end process. And we also have enabled that the initial disposition that comes in from the customer, some notes that may have come in from a customer, or you may actually even choose to update them with some damage codes or things that came in from the customer, or also as part of this second screen here, scroll down below, you can add in a customer request due date here, which gives you the ability to both update the notification and the sales order with regards to when the customer is expecting to have this back. You can see whether or not these items are in warranty. And if you double click on this, it will take you, and if you double click on this, it will take you to the equipment master that shows you what the warranty duration is, both to your customer and to the vendor that may have extended a component warranty to you or something like that. But those are the key features of the Induction Workbench, which will then bring that item all the way into the repair staging location. So that's it for the Induction Workbench. I want to thank you very much for your time and attendance or interest. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. We're happy to set up a one-on-one demo for you at any time in the near future. Thank you very much. Y'all have a good day.